In this video, I'm going to talk about obtuse, acute, and straight angles. Obtuse, acute, and straight angles. I may throw some right angles in there as well. Starting with the right angle. So a right angle is an angle formed by perpendicular lines, rays, or segments. It looks like the square corner of a paper. I'm going to be using this tool right here. And this is called a protractor. We use protractors to determine angles. So I'm going to use, I see a square right here in the middle. I'm curious. It says it's a square angle. Excuse me, it says it's a right angle, but is it really? So I'm going to take my protractor. Oh, tilt it a little bit. Okay, make sure it's back down to 0. Take my protractor. I'm going to set the middle of it, this middle right here. I'm going to put it in right there on the middle of where that dot is. And let the line, the bottom line, line up with the line, the top line up with the top line. And that line goes straight up to the top where it says 90 and right here. So look at it, look at the inside marking. From this line all the way up to this line. That didn't work. From this line all the way up to here, we're using the inside markings, and it's 90 degrees. So a right angle is 90 degrees. No, I don't want to do that. Okay, 90 degrees. So we can say that all of these angles are right angles. Angle IKB. Well, let me back up for a second. So you notice that the middle letter is highlighted. It's bold. That middle letter says, hey, if you go from I to K to B, if you go from I to K to B, then that will be a right angle. So let's find I. Oh, it's different letters. Okay, I don't know why it's different letters. So let's make our own then. If I go from O to S to Q, that little symbol right there in the front, that's called angle. Angle OSQ equals 90 degrees. It's a right angle. Angle, I can flip it around and say QSO, so Q to S to O is the same thing. If we did, let's do it over here. Angle X to Z to P is 90 degrees. And angle Y to Z to P is 90 degrees. Okay? So those are right angles. All of those are right angles. What's neat about right angles is if this is a right angle, and that's a right angle, and that's a right angle, and that's a right angle. But you'll get, that's more advanced, and you'll get into that later. So let's talk about the vertex of an angle. The point at which two line segments, lines, or rays meet for an angle is called the vertex. So right here, S is a vertex, Z is a vertex, W is a vertex, V is a vertex. It's where these lines are crossing. It's where they're meeting. The point at which two line segments, line segment VO and line segment SW, cross or meet, forming an angle right there at the vertex. Think of vertices as corners. And when we do that, this, there you go. That point right there, that little the bottom line on the protractors that you guys are going to use, there's actually a hole for your pencil. That's where you're going to put that spot, is right there on the vertex. So acute little angle is smaller than a right angle. How much smaller? Doesn't matter. It's less than 90 degrees. Less than 90 degrees. It could be 89.99, 89 and 99 hundredths of a degree. That is less than 90, therefore it is an acute angle. So a great example of an acute angle, if I take my protractor and I put it right here on the vertex W, is this angle right here, angle UWZ is an acute angle. It's actually measured, it looks like that's going to be, I don't know, like 52 degrees. We can find the exact one using the smartboard if I take this and I line it up on that. Oh, I was right, 52 degrees. That's it. It says 52. Anyway, so 52 degrees. So that because 52 degrees is less than 90 degrees, that's an acute angle. And there's a couple others on there as well. The opposite of acute angle is obtuse angles. Obtuse angles are bigger than right angles. How much bigger? Doesn't matter. As long as it is greater than 90 degrees. Did I write that correctly on the other one? Okay, yes. Greater than 90 degrees. It could be 90 and 1/100th of a degree. As long as it's bigger than 90, it's an obtuse angle. Okay? And let's use this angle because we haven't done this part yet. I'm going to line my baseline up with my line right here. Make sure my vertex is on my vertex of the angle. And this time I'm going to measure from angle SWU. So think about that. I'm going from S to W to U. So that's going this way. So where's 0? 0 is here. All the way over to here is about 130 degrees. I know that doesn't line up with the other ones, but we're using a smartboard here. So be patient with me. So it equals 130 degrees. So I'm using the outside measurement, because I'm starting where my 0 is. We'll get into more protractor practice later. But what you need to know is it is greater than a right angle. A straight angle. Straight angle is just that. It is a straight line. These are equal to 180 degrees, just in case you're curious. Not 180.01, not 179.9, 180 degrees. Straight line. So angle OSZ. O to S to Z is a straight line. Equals 180 degrees. I can show you that. Let's put our vertex on our vertex. Line up our baseline. If I start from 0, O to S to Z, so I start with 0, it's on the outside, not the inside this time. All the way to the other side, and yep, 180 degrees. Perfect. Okay. So those are our 3 types of angles. We have the angle song. Acute, right, obtuse. Acute, right, obtuse. These are the types of angles. Acute, right, obtuse. Acute is small. Right stands tall. Obtuse is the widest of them all. Okay, so there are our angles. Hopefully, between this video and the previous video, it gives you enough information to start working with geometry. If you have any questions, write it up on your whisk.